Hello everyone and welcome back to Car Venus 14. Now today we are going to be talking about Jinhsi once again, and this time it's kind of another issue that Jinhsi has. Now I know what you're thinking, another one? Really? Didn't you just make one before about Jinhsi not having her best teammate? And to be fair, yes, I still do agree with that, but this is not really an issue per se, but it's more of a difficulty that Jinhsi will face in the future when more of these things get added in, okay? And this is about her echo set. Now, as you all know, Jinhsi's echo set
May I pray for anything
is
specific
this one,
for you?
right? Celestial
it would be my
light.
honor.
Okay, now, what is wrong with celestial light? Well, nothing is wrong with it at all. You get 10% increased spectral damage bonus, and whenever you do an intro skill for the next 15 seconds, you get 30% increased spectral damage bonus. So 40% increased spectral damage bonus for basically 15 seconds, which is really nice. Now, the problem doesn't lie within the set itself. The problem, okay, lies with the main echo piece that you're going to use. Now, it's not really a problem, like I said, it's more of a thing that Jinhsi might find to be a limiting factor in the future, okay? And that difficulty is Jue. Yeah. Now, what's wrong with Jue? She is literally the best echo for Jinhsi. Exactly. The problem is Jue is so specifically tailor-made to suit Jinhsi that swapping Jue out for anyone else will be not as optimal. Yeah. What do I mean by that? Well, it's simple, okay? So, let's read Jue's skill first. First of all, summon Jue to the aid. Jue soars through the air, dealing spectral damage, and summons thunderbolts that strike nearby enemies up to 5 times. Each hit deals a certain amount of spectral damage. Jue then spirals downward, attacking the surrounding enemies twice, each hit dealing spectral damage bonus. Okay. So Jue just summons lightning that deals spectral damage and hits the opponents, dealing spectral damage. Now, casting this echo skill grants the resonator a blessing of time effect that lasts for 15 seconds, during when the resonator gains 16% resonance skill damage bonus, okay, which is 1. When the resonator's resonance skill hits the target, inflicts 16% spectral damage bonus once every second for the next 15 seconds. And this is considered resonance skill damage, and it's on a 20-second cooldown, okay? Now, so as you can see, compare this to Morning IX. Alright, well, let's go to Morning IX. So Morning IX, you just turn into Morning IX and you do these two things. Alright, you just do a damage. And then you gain 12%, spectral damage bonus. Now, this is obviously not as good as the resonance skill damage bonus, because you get more of the resonance skill damage bonus, and the resonance skill damage bonus is more effective on Jinhsi, because Jinhsi already gains so much spectral damage bonus with her signature weapon, as well as her own base kit. So, yeah. Now, the thing about Jue is that yeah, that's the correct one. Yeah, so Jue, basically, let me just show you his combo. All right, so let's just show you what Jue can actually do. All right, so you're doing an enemy, right? Then you go up into the air, you do this.
Take hold.
Okay, that was the worst representation of Jue possible. And then proceed to do this. All right, like that is how Jue works. Okay, so effectively, what you do is you use Jue. Now, if you guys remember, alright, if you guys did actually pay attention to the combo that I just did, you'll see that Jue does something that not a lot of other units do. Okay? Like, for example, well, we'll start off with the first thing. Jue's attacks, all of Jue's attacks that she does, they are all considered as coordinated or off-field damage, which is considered coordinated attack damage, right? Which means everything that Jue does, from the Spectro Lightning, right, to the attacks, to the attack that he does spiraling up and then spiraling down, and then there's also the off-field damage that she'll do once you do resonance skill damage, once you do a form of resonance skill damage. That is all considered spectral damage bonus, which is why whenever you're hitting an enemy and you pull Jue out, all of a sudden you see a surge of resonance skill damage, like incandescent stacks just going up, right? Yeah, that's what that is basically. Yeah, so that's effectively what that is. Jue's entire combo counts as coordinated attack damage, everything, right? Yeah, which is why he's really good for Jinhsi, because she provides, you know, what's it called? You know, incandescent stacks to Jinhsi. That's one thing. Yes, there's a resonant skill damage bonus as well, but there are already sets coming out that give you resonant skill damage bonus, like one of the sets coming out in patch 2.0, spoiler warning, I probably should have said that earlier, but one of the sets in patch 2.0 gives resonant skill damage bonus as the 2-piece, and the 5-piece gives you glacio damage bonus and resonant skill damage bonus. Obviously, it's the best in the slot for Carlotta, but the resonant skill damage bonus is like 42% that you get. So, honestly, it might actually be viable on Jinhsi. That's where I realized, hold on, it won't work that well on Jinhsi, simply because, number one, it's not optimal for her, because it doesn't provide any inseparable
I'm
bonus,
sure your
like
wishes will come true.
does. The resonant skill damage bonus is nice, but remember, Jue is tied so much to Jinhsi. They are like quite literally inseparable, which is actually a good thing, to be fair, in the lore. But you know, gameplay wise, it doesn't allow for a lot of leeway for Jinhsi. And another thing, okay, I don't know if you've noticed, but look at this, alright? Alright, now watch this.
Bask in starlight.
Yeah. You see? Jue you can use while you're in the air. Okay? Jue is usable while you are in the air. Okay? And what is Jinhsi doing when she's using her main source of damage? In the air. Exactly. Alright? You can use Jue in the air, whereas someone like Morning Ix, okay?
For you, it would be my honor.
Where's Morning Ix? Morning Ix, where are you? I'll just use this Morning Ix. We'll equip this. Alright. Alright, someone like Morning Ix, okay? Alright, I'm on this. See, it's still light on Amalgam, okay? You see, I'm clicking it. No matter how many times, it will not go off. Okay? You cannot use Morning Ix while you're in the air, which is really weird because Morning Ix is able to fly, right? So I don't understand why that is the case. Also, there's another thing, okay? There's another thing. Alright, let's just say you're doing Morning Ix's combo. Alright, let's just say you're doing your basic attack combo on Jinhsi, why not? Right, because you want to use Morning Ix, okay? You see, that was an issue, okay? I don't know if you guys saw that, but Morning Ix, not that it takes long, it's just that you turn into Morning Ix. Is this a problem? Yes. Well, actually, is it a problem? Let's see. It depends on when you do it, because if you do it on the 3rd strike, then you could probably go into it, right? No, you can't even do it on the 3rd strike, so you have to... So yeah, you have to finish off the entire combo, which means you need to do the full 4-hit basic combo, do the Morning Ix's Echo skill, then go into the air. Now, is that a good thing? Well, it's certainly not bad to do, right? But what does it do? Waste more field time. And you see, here's the issue, okay? When you do Jinhsi's intro skill, you're going to want to use her resonant skill straight away. If you don't, what you'll end up doing is you'll do her intro skill, okay? You'll do her intro skill, then do this, and then go into the air, right? And then do her full combo. Then you'll do her full combo, alright? Yeah, now, that is not really a problem, but what it does do is it increases Jinhsi's field time, okay? Now, is that an issue? Well, outside of her resonant skill, it's not really an issue, so this is just me being a bit of a nitpicker here. But the thing is you don't have a lot of flexibility with Morning Ix, okay? You really don't, because number one, Morning Ix can't be used in the air. So Jinhsi has to use Morning Ix before she actually takes off the ground, which, is that feasible? Honestly, it's not that bad. You can still work around it, but you just don't really have a lot of freedom with your rotations, okay? Or with how you play it. Is that the right one? That is the right one, yes. Yeah, so there's that. Another thing is that Morning Ix also doesn't buff you as much as, you know, Jue does. Jue gives you 16% resonant skill damage bonus, whereas Morning Ix gives you 12%, you know, spectral damage bonus, and also 12% boosted liberation damage bonus, but liberation isn't really the main thing. And Jinhsi's resonance liberation is only going to be up once every second rotation, so it's not even going to be up most of the time. So yeah, Morning IX's buff is kind of wasted on Jinhsi, whereas Jue is just so much better. Another thing about Jue is that he is a summon, right? Unlike Morning IX. So what that means is when you press the Echo skill button, Jue comes out. Jue comes out, but you don't transform into Jue, which is good because you could effectively be doing your resonant skill damage combo and call out Jue, and Jue will do the coordinated attacks and stuff like that while you're carrying on with the resonant skill, right? Which means less field time for you, which is really good because the entire point of Jinhsi is you want to get on the field, do your damage, and get out as quickly as possible. That is Jinhsi's entire playstyle, okay? Get on the field, do your stuff, and get out. It's as simple as that. You want to be on the field for at least 10 seconds as a maximum, really. You don't want to go above that, simply because you're putting Jinhsi in too much of a risk from being hurt and things like that. Because remember, Jinhsi is the safest when she's in the air, okay? When Jinhsi is in the air, right, look how high she can really get.
Fluorescent shadows.
Look at that. Like, you are really high. Okay, you are really high, okay? So you really can't be hit. So the more you're in the air, the better, right? But you don't really want to extend that time anymore, simply because it's dangerous for Jinhsi. And remember, Jinhsi's not exactly one of the tankiest champs in the game. So, yeah, it's not League of Legends. This is Wuthering Waves. She's not exactly one of the tankiest people in the game, alright? And that does seem to be a theme that Jinhsi seems to have. She just wants to be on the field, doing what she does best, and then leaving, and, you know, leaving the people to do the rest. That's kind of her entire trope, to be fair, let's be honest, yeah. She'll do what she has to for the people, but then the people also need to take care of themselves. It's kind of what Jinhsi's entire playstyle is, right? Yeah. So that's kind of how it is for Jinhsi, and this is why Jue is the best set, not just from a damage perspective, because Jue does give Jinhsi more damage, but he also does more damage than Morning IX, right? So because Morning IX only hits twice, Jue has like 7 instances where he's on field dealing damage, and then there's the 15 other instances when he's off field. So he just deals more damage personally compared to Morning IX, and also buffs Jinhsi more compared to Morning IX. And there's also, so that's the damage perspective, but there's also the utility perspective, where Jue is able to be used while you're airborne, so more freedom there, number one, and number two, he also provides incandescent stacks because of the off-field coordinated damage that he does, and the on-field damage as well, right? So he gives Jinhsi more incandescent stacks, which just enable her to deal more damage per rotation, and then there's also the fact that Jue is a summon, right? So he won't interrupt Jinhsi's combo at all, because he's a summon. You can summon him whenever, and you won't transform into Jue. Jue will just be on the field doing doing her own thing, and then Jinhsi can carry on with her combo. So there's no interruption or anything like that. So Jue is just a lot easier to play with, right? Yeah, because you won't have to, you know, use Jue at a specific time. You can use him whenever, but you probably want to use him at the very beginning when you pop into your resonant skill area, right? Your resonant skill, you know, what was it called again? I forgot the name of it, but yeah, the one that you're in when you're in the air. Yeah. Incarnation, that's it, the incarnation state. When you're in the incarnation state, that's when you want to use Jue. So yeah. So what is effectively the issue here? Well, it's simple. If you move from Celestial Light to another set, you're not only losing Celestial Light, which is a very good set for Jinhsi, and it's very easy for her to proc as well. Other sets might actually be very difficult to proc, right? Like you might need to do a specific attack combo, or a specific unit needs to come out, or a specific type of damage needs to happen, or stuff like that. Not only do you just need to proc your intro skill, which you want to do on Jinhsi anyway, but you're also you're losing Jue, one of the basically one of the best pieces that Jinhsi has access to, simply because Jue works so well for Jinhsi. Number one, provides coordinated attacks a lot, so incandescent stack buildup. Number two, provides more damage to Jinhsi compared to the other Echo that she wants to use, Morning IX. Alright. Number three, what is it? The buffs are more usable, right? Meaning, yes, they do more damage, but they're also more usable by Jinhsi. Spectral damage bonus is nice, but the Resonance Liberation is not really that usable by Jinhsi herself because she doesn't do a lot of liberation damage every single time. So yeah, that's 3 things already. Provides a lot of incandescent stacks, buffs Jinhsi more, and buffs Jinhsi better, like in the correct way. The third thing is that Jue can, the fourth thing, sorry, is that Jue can be used while airborne, right? And, you know, and the fifth thing is that he is a summon, giving you more freedom and ability to, you know, do your combo a lot smoother and stuff like that. So that's 5 things that I've just said that Jue can do for Jinhsi, alright? Those are 5 things, okay? So having the ability to do all 5 of those things, and maybe more, right? On an Echo set, right? On another Echo, right? Is going to be very difficult, right? So yeah, now of course we don't have any information on the actual Echoes individually. We'll have to wait at a later date to probably get those leaks or get them officially, effectively. But yeah, it's quite difficult. It's really, really difficult, all right, to you know, top Jue effectively because of how much stuff she actually does for Jinhsi. Yeah, but that has basically been the video, guys. Effectively just a bit of a mini rant on why Jue is so strong with Jinhsi and how this might be a problem in the future if there's a set that does come out that Jinhsi can use really, really well. Like maybe a resonance skill damage bonus increase while also increasing spectral damage bonus or something like that, right? Yeah, the Celestial Light set is so strong because not only does it give Jinhsi a good amount of spectral damage bonus, it's also very easy for Jinhsi to access. All she needs to do is resonance, do her intro skill, right? Which she wants to do anyway, right? You want to do your intro skill on all DPSs anyway. That's kind of what you want to do, unless you're in a quick swap team. But in a non-quick swap team, you want to use intro skills all the time, basically, right? Yeah, and also because of Jue, like the main reason for Celestial Light being so strong is basically because of Jue, because of what Jue can do for Jinhsi. Jinhsi can actually use another artifact set, Lingering Tune, oh not artifact, sorry, Echo set called Lingering Tunes, right? Yeah, because the 4-cost Echo, the robot dude, right, the 4-cost Echo actually does provide coordinated attacks as well, which is why there are guides saying that you can use Lingering Tunes because the coordinated the attacks provided by the 4-cost Echo is considered as coordinated attacks. But the thing is that he just doesn't buff, you know, Jinhsi as well as Jue, and there's not really a lot of usability with Echo because you have to be grounded and things like that. So yeah, honestly, I'd say the main reason Celestial Light is so strong on Jinhsi specifically is because of Jue, right? Of course, 40% spectral damage bonus is no laughing matter, but effectively they're equal participants, right? Jue is just as good as the Spectral Light set itself, right? Yeah, so that's basically it. And effectively, that's basically been the video, guys. So yeah, this is effectively just talking about Jinhsi and why she's so strong paired with Jue and the you know, Celestial Light set, but also why it could be a problem in the future because as newer units come out with more Echo sets that are able to enable them a lot more, Jinhsi will kind of be left behind with a set that, you know, has been power crept by certain has been power crept by certain Echo sets in the future, right? Heck, who knows? Maybe Celestial Light might genuinely not be a great set in the future when the time comes, and Spectro units, okay, some Spectro units or Spectro DPSs down the line might genuinely have a better set, right, that does what Celestial Light does, but better, right? And of course, if Jinhsi can't move like those other Spectro units to that set, simply because of how good Jue really is, right, that will be a problem. So, yeah. Now, is Jinhsi reliant on Jue? It really depends on the player. If you have a hard time, right, remembering rotations and combos and stuff like that, Jue is a lot better. But if you don't really have an issue with that, and you can use certain Echoes in certain times, right, then by all means go ahead, okay? Because it really doesn't matter. Like, the only difference between Jue and Morning Ix for those players is that Jue just buffs Jinhsi more. That's it, right? And it's not really a skill thing, like, you know, you have the ability to summon, he's a summon, and he doesn't transform Jinhsi, and also the fact that, you know, Jue provides off-field coordinated attacks, and he also can be used airborne and stuff like that. At that point, it's just a difference between who buffs who more for those players, right? Yeah. But I personally still would take Jue over Morning IX, simply because Jue is just easier to play with compared to Morning IX, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a huge fan of transforming into certain, you know, echoes, simply because they ruin the flow of combat for you, right? Yeah, they just ruin the flow of combat for you. It's not really that nice, right? Not all echoes are annoying. Not all echoes are that bad when it comes to, you know, stopping the attack combo and carrying it on. Not all echoes are like that, but some echoes do genuinely come up with a different combo and stop you, and that's where it gets kind of annoying, because it just doesn't feel satisfying. And I know what you're thinking. Feeling satisfying in a game like Wuthering Waves is very, very important, right? This is a game that you need to feel satisfied while playing because of how the combat works, right? So, yeah. But that's basically it for this video, guys. I have been CarVenus14 and Salam, and I hope you will enjoy the rest of your day. And before we do go, I don't know if anyone has seen the leaks for the Jinhsi skin, but oh my word, I cannot wait. That's all I'm gonna say. I really did not expect them to go above and beyond for this skin. Like, I genuinely thought it was just going to be a recolor for Jinhsi and everything else was going to be kept the same. But no, the weapon has a different look, right? The weapon has a different color scheme, sorry. Jinhsi has a different color scheme and a different hairstyle and everything.
May I pray for anything specific
Number
for
two,
you?
Jue
honor.
is pink, right? They changed Jue's color scheme and even gave her lipstick.
I'm sure your wishes will come true.
Like, her mouth is like a bit more, it's more red rather than pink, right, compared to the rest of her skin. Yeah, also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Jue's face actually resembles a Hanya mask quite a bit. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one that's seeing it, but basically Hanya masks are effectively like female versions of Oni, effectively. Yeah, female versions of Oni, who are, they usually are quite, you know, terrifying in the form that they just want revenge a lot. Yeah, at least according to the mythology, Hanyas are typically female Oni that just want revenge. Like, they're quite brutal. So I don't know, I don't think that's a correct representation of who Jue is, but the female you know, the female representation of, you know, a terrifying face, effectively, in the form of Hanya, is reciprocated quite well. I think they did the design quite well. It does resemble a Hanya mask to me, but I'm not sure if anyone else sees it. Yeah, and they also added like firework things to, you know, firework explosions to
May I pray for anything specific for you? It would be my honor.
Yeah, Jinhsi's attack combos. There's also a cherry blossom tree as well,
I'm
when
sure
Jinhsi
your
does
wishes
Jue's
will
laser
come
beam.
true.
And I also don't know if you guys have noticed, but Jue's laser beam, when Jue fires down her laser beam, right, and then like does the explosion, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but when Jue initially starts firing the laser beam, you can kind of see a lotus that is kind of closed, right? A closed lotus. And then when Jue, you know, does the final attack and the massive explosion happens, you can kind of see there's a lotus shape that just explodes and it opens up, basically. I don't know if I'm the only one that sees that, but that's what I can see. At least I don't know if that's what they were going for, but I can kind of see that, yeah. And then the burst. Oh my god, with the lanterns and the moon as well. Oh my lord. And the Abbey fireworks. The Abbey fireworks are such a lovely touch, honestly. Yeah, I kind of want to see the story implications of how, you know, this works. I mean, will we actually see in the story that Jue changes, right, color? Like, yes, to suit the mood of the environment better, one has decided to become pink.
May I pray, you know, for anything specific for you?
I want to know.
It would be my honor.
Yeah, because in these in gacha games, the way these skins are introduced are usually
I'm sure your wishes will come true.
At least in Genshin, that's how it works. And with Wuthering Waves directly competing, it would only make sense, right? So yeah. But I am definitely getting Jinhsi's skin. Now, for those of you that are unaware, Jinhsi's skin is a 5-star skin, and it's going to cost around, excuse me, £40. Yeah, for the discounted version when it's released initially. But then once it's gone after the release patch, it will go back to full price, which is about £50. So yeah, is it worth it? Honestly, I'm not sure, because we don't really have a lot of skins to compare it to. But I would say that's kind of reasonable, simply because of how much the skin actually comes with. But £50 does seem a little bit steep to me. So those of you that do have the first-time bonus, like me, right? The store, okay? If we were to do the math, okay? I only need to pay about £21 in order to get the skin. Yeah, because obviously, for those of you that haven't actually purchased any of these Lunites just yet, okay, for a first-time bonus, right, you do get double. So obviously, if we take that into account, half of £42 is £21. So I only need to pay £21 effectively during the discounted time. And if I miss the discounted time, then I have to pay £25, which is still insane, honestly. I'm basically getting a £50 skin for effectively 60% off, basically. Yeah. If you do the quick math and stuff. So yeah, it's near 60% off, but that's actually kind of insane, right? For everyone that is free to play and hasn't spent a dime on this game yet, I might actually just, you know, I might honestly just go and buy this skin simply because of the fact that, you know, it's just that great, honestly. Like, I really do want it because of that. That's how good it looks, right? Like, like, Shenhe does have a skin in Genshin, but I never ended up getting it simply because I moved over to Arlecchino a short while after, and I knew Arlecchino was guaranteed coming, so I didn't actually go ahead with it. But also, Shenhe's skin it was a 4-star skin. It wasn't really that great, to be honest. I mean, it looked really nice, but, you know, for the price they were asking, I would at least like some extra special effects or something, but no, it's Hoyoverse at the end of the day, so, yeah. But that's basically been the video, guys. A bit of a thing about Jinxi's, you know, Echo Set issue and, well, good connection to Jue and how that could be a bit of a drawback later on. But they might actually invent some new measures for that, to be fair. There might be an Echo that comes out that is even better than Jue, right? With the fact that she can add that Echo
May I
can probably
pray
do
for anything
more stuff
specific for
while,
you?
like,
It
doing the
would
same
be
stuff
my
while
honor.
Jue can, but better, or maybe even more stuff. So, yeah, we'll really have to
I'm
see.
sure
but,
your wishes
yeah.
will come true.
That's basically it, guys, for the video. I have been Carvenus14 and Salam, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.